The Zodiac Killer is one of the most infamous and mysterious serial killers in American history. Between 1968 and 1974, he is believed to have murdered at least 5 people in Northern California, although he claimed responsibility for up to 37 deaths in taunting letters sent to the media. Despite decades of investigation and countless theories, the Zodiac Killer's identity remains unknown, leaving the case as one of the most baffling unsolved mysteries of the 20th century. The Zodiac's reign of terror began on December 20, 1968, when high school students Betty Lou Jensen and David Faraday were shot and killed on a remote road near Vallejo, California. There was no apparent motive for the killings, and the crime scene offered few clues. 6 months later, on July 4, 1969, the Zodiac struck again. This time Darlene Ferrin and Michael Mageau were shot in their car at Blue Rock Springs Park, also near Vallejo. Ferrin was killed, but Mageau survived, despite being shot multiple times. It was this attack that first brought the killer into the public eye, as shortly after the murder, a man claiming to be the perpetrator called the Vallejo Police Department and took credit for the crime. This was the beginning of the Zodiac Killer's terrifying game of cat and mouse with law enforcement and the media. One of the most chilling aspects of the Zodiac case was his penchant for sending letters to local newspapers, each more cryptic and taunting than the last. His first letter arrived on August 1, 1969, sent to 3 Bay Area newspapers, the San Francisco Chronicle, San Francisco Examiner, and the Vallejo Times-Herald. In these letters, the Zodiac took credit for the murders and included a cipher, a coded message, which he demanded be published on the front page. If the newspapers failed to comply, he threatened to kill again. The cipher, known as the Zodiac's 408 cipher, was quickly solved by a local couple. It contained a disturbing message about his love of killing, and referenced a desire to collect slaves for the afterlife. But it did not reveal his identity. Over the years, the Zodiac sent numerous letters, often mocking the police for their inability to catch him. Some letters included more ciphers, most of which remain unsolved to this day, while others contained bizarre symbols, including his infamous crosshair logo, which he often signed his letters with. On September 27, 1969, the Zodiac Killer attacked again, this time near Lake Berryessa, where college students Brian Hartnell and Cecilia Shepard were picnicking. The Zodiac, wearing a hooded costume with his crosshair symbol emblazoned on the chest, approached the couple, tied them up, and then brutally stabbed them. He left a message on Hartnell's car door, detailing the crime and including his signature crosshair symbol. Hartnell survived, but Shepard succumbed to her injuries. Two weeks later, on October 11, 1969, cab driver Paul Stine was shot and killed in the Presidio Heights neighborhood of San Francisco. This was the Zodiac's first and only known murder in an urban area. Witnesses saw a man fleeing the scene and a composite sketch was created, but despite this lead, the police were unable to catch him. In his next letter, the Zodiac took credit for Stine's murder and threatened to shoot schoolchildren. He included a piece of Stine's bloody shirt as proof of his involvement, demonstrating his chilling ability to strike fear into the public. The Zodiac Killer's cryptic ciphers have puzzled investigators and amateur sleuths for decades. While the 408 cipher was quickly cracked, the Zodiac's 340 cipher, sent in November 1969, remained unsolved for over 50 years. In 2020, a team of cryptographers finally decoded it, revealing a message that once again taunted law enforcement, but offered no clues about the killer's identity. The message read, "I hope you are having lots of fun in trying to catch me. That wasn't me on the TV show," which brings up a point about me. I am not afraid of the gas chamber because it will send me to paradise sick, all the sooner because I now have enough slaves to work for me. But other ciphers, like the Z13 cipher, which the Zodiac claimed contained his real name, remain unsolved. This has only fueled speculation and theories about who the Zodiac Killer might be. Over the years, dozens of suspects have been proposed, from Arthur Lee Allen, a convicted child molester who was one of the police's main suspects, to more far-fetched theories involving famous individuals or conspiracies. Despite extensive investigation, no suspect has ever been definitively linked to the Zodiac killings, and the case remains open. What makes the Zodiac Killer so haunting, even after all these years, is the way he played with the public and law enforcement. He seemed to revel in the fear and chaos he created, using his letters and ciphers to remain in the spotlight. His cold, calculating demeanor combined with his complete anonymity has made him one of the most elusive figures in criminal history. Part of the enduring fascination with the case lies in the idea that the Zodiac could still be out there, living a normal life, having evaded capture all these years. Some believe he may have died, while others think he simply stopped killing. The lack of closure, and the possibility that the killer was never caught keeps the mystery alive. To this day, law enforcement agencies as well as amateur detectives continue to work on the case. Modern technology, including DNA testing, has raised hopes that new evidence could eventually lead to the Zodiac's identification, but so far, no breakthroughs have been made. The Zodiac Killer's legacy lives on, not just as a terrifying chapter in the annals of criminal history, but as a cultural phenomenon. His cryptic messages, taunting letters, and unexplained motives have inspired numerous books, films, documentaries, and even online communities dedicated to solving the case. From the 2007 film Zodiac, directed by David Fincher, to podcasts and YouTube channels, the fascination with this unsolved mystery shows no sign of fading. In the end, the Zodiac Killer's most enduring weapon was fear, the fear of the unknown, the fear that a seemingly ordinary person could commit such heinous acts and then vanish without a trace. And until the case is solved, the Zodiac will remain a ghost haunting the shadows of true crime history. For more detailed explorations of unsolved mysteries like the Zodiac Killer and other notorious cases, subscribe to The Truth and Reality and follow our channels for in-depth documentaries, real-life investigations, and updates on the world's most fascinating enigmas. Don't miss out on our upcoming live shows where we delve into the dark side of history and mystery.